No. Do you know the bit where it goes in just that tiny wee bit where your hoop just goes, thank you. It's like giving a duck some bread and it just goes.
So I'd walk up and go, right, yeah, cut the music off, and he'd go, yeah, sound. And when I'd walk away, he'd just be like, Prince Ali.
Welcome to Bongo's Bungalow, the official home of Bongo's Bingo. I'm your host, Jonny Bongo, and I'm joined with my two bros, my two bezies, Jimmy Sweets and Cole, aka Slutty Susie. We're here to give you a look into the world of Bongo's Bingo from behind the scenes. So if you've ever wondered how we reincarnated the beautiful game of bingo, we'll tell you how we did it.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Jim.
Oh, is that it?
You fucking idiot.
Oh, I thought you were going to pass it over or something.
No, just...
Okay, follow us on socials at Bongo's Bungalow, and don't forget you can watch us with your eyes on YouTube.
And if you've got any stories, questions, or any show ideas that you want to share with us, you can DM them to us on our socials, or you can email us at hello@bongosbungalow.co.uk.
So grab a drink. I've got 3 today, a Peroni, a Diet Coke, and a Norwegian sparkling water. And settle in for the Bongo's Bungalow podcast, the podcast where the party just never stops. It doesn't stop.
No.
And, you know, I just want to start off by being a little bit honest, and thank you for everyone that's watched the first couple of episodes and listened. But we don't actually record these live, so they're recorded at different times, and it's actually been quite a while since we've recorded because someone was partying far too much. Not looking at anyone in particular.
Not me,
Not
mate.
looking at anyone in particular. Cool. It's been about 5 weeks since
Party too hard when?
the Christmas staff party, which is in January.
Yeah.
So we'll talk. Do you want to delve into that just for context? The Bongo's Bingo staff party is a thing of legend now. The last 4 years we've done it in West Tower in Ormskirk. It's a little bit like Wolf of Wall Street without throwing dwarfs, and it's a bit off its head. And this year we always have special guests to come and perform over the years. We've had Mike Skinner from The Streets.
Yeah.
Craig Charles. Who else?
Ultra Beat.
Blackout Crew.
General Levy.
General Levy.
Pete and
Lady
Baz.
LaSure. Pete and Baz.
Azealia Banks? No, not Azealia Banks.
Azealia Banks. No.
Lady Alicia.
Lady LaSure, yeah. But this year, I think this will probably be the last time we do a Christmas party of this magnitude because we lost a lot of good men. No one died, but that we like you. Cole,
Hard work.
do you want to talk about it?
Got a bit loose.
A bit loose.
I can't talk about it because I'm a million.
Yeah, you went. I've never seen you go as wild ever.
I think we have like a bit of a sweepstake, don't we, in the build up to the party and say who's going to be the shit show this year.
Shit show of the year.
And I mean,
It was definitely you, wasn't it?
yeah, but I mean, I must have been quite big odds though. I don't think anyone thought it was going to
Yeah,
be me.
you were like best newcomer to shit show of the year. Like your name's never been in the hat. You were partying for 2 days.
Yeah. Do you know, when you're drunk and when someone's drunk and they get in like a loop of saying the same thing?
Yeah.
I think Cole said, "Do you like cheese?" about 15,000 times maybe that day.
I think it was because, what's the gag? Do you like cheese? Yeah, because you're a rat.
Yeah.
But you didn't do the second part. You were just walking about.
Everyone
going,
knew what I meant.
Yeah, but you were just walking about going, "Do you like cheese? Do you like cheese? Do you like cheese?" And then you left early, 10 o'clock.
I left early, still rang in sick for the weekend.
10 p.m.
Still ill.
So the party started at Monday at 10 a.m.
What time did we meet in mine? 10.
10 a.m. we had mimosas.
Yeah.
And double cheese or sausage egg McMuffins.
Yeah.
And then you were partying from 10 a.m. till, that was Monday, till Tuesday night.
I got home at 10 o'clock.
So 48 hours.
No.
Yeah.
36.
36
Well,
hours. No sleep.
Well, I think we had 6 bottles of Shanky's Whip on the way to the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what killed me, to be honest.
Was it the Shanky's Whip? Yeah. Under no sleep.
Will everyone know what Shanky's Whip is?
Shanky's Whip is an Irish liqueur. Hopefully, maybe we'll get them to send us some bottles.
It's caramel flavoured, isn't it?
It's delicious.
Caramel. It's class.
But I think where I knew that you'd were on another level was because we'd hired Bez from the Happy Mondays to come and do a DJ set, and it's 2 a.m. and you're doing the hokey cokey, and Bez is standing there looking at you, just going, "This guy's
You've lost it.
This guy's too much for me," and that's like Bez, number one party animal.
Yeah, who's been in the Happy Mondays?
He's been in the Happy Mondays. He's been in the Hacienda and the party days of the 90s, and he was looking at you, just going, "Nah."
Pack
I
it
don't
in.
even remember seeing him there.
No, he was great. So yeah, but we're back, and it took you. You were in your house for 11 days in quarantine, just sorting yourself out.
Still only feel about 80% now.
Yeah, but you did a show on Saturday.
Yeah.
But other news as well, probably bigger. Jim's got piles. What? You have?
Oh yeah, I didn't think you were going to break it. Oh God.
Sorry, it's those piles. Let me be.
The bad piles.
Yeah, I often get piles. I don't know where it comes from.
You often get it?
I get it quite a lot, yeah.
Isn't it like squeezing too hard?
I'm an avid piles sufferer. Oh. It's like if you imagine like grapes
coming out your head.
Have
you ever had them?
Boom,
I've never had them.
Do you remember? I've only ever had them once. I didn't know what it was. I freaked out. It wasn't I don't think it was a big pile, but you know, you have a wee feeling. There's something there, isn't
yeah,
it?
You don't.
And it was when we went to America. Do you remember? I was freaking out. Do you not remember?
No.
You've never had piles?
No.
That's only one time I had it, and I went to the doctors, like, and they had a wee look, and they're like, "Yeah, it's a small pile. You probably didn't need to come and show your hip, like."
Yeah.
But,
A Rice Krispie.
yeah, it was just a wee one, but yeah, it cleared up when we got to America, because my mum was like, "As soon as you get off the plane, go to a Walgreens pharmacy and get Preparation 8. They don't sell it in the UK; they sell it in America," and it cleared up like that. So you need to get onto the web and get
I've been
Preparation
using.
H.
I don't know how much information everyone wants, but
Yeah, go on.
I've been using several suppositories just to try and calm it down, but I
Still angry?
don't like putting it in.
Oh, the suppository?
Yeah.
No, do you not like the wee bit where it goes in? No. Do you know the bit where it goes in? Just that tiny wee bit where your hoop just goes. Thank you. It's like giving a duck some bread, and it just goes. Do you know what I mean?
You with the ducks.
Because you think like when you've have you ever put a suppository in your hoop? No.
Nah.
We'll try it after.
Have you ever put anything in your hoop? No. Finger. But when you put the suppository in, you think you're pushing it. When? Which one?
May I ask why?
Little pinky.
It's nice when you put your finger in it. Just goes. Thank you.
And your whole hand goes up. Anyway, right. So that's enough. That's enough chat. Right. Let's see what we've got on the agenda. Now we've talked about pals and the Christmas party, and Cole is dying over there.
Yeah, sorry.
But
I'll be alright.
you okay?
No.
What we were talking about, episode 3. Where were we? Like on the journey, we were just talking
This is
about
episode 3.
Episode 2. Sorry.
We spoke about some of the quiz rounds.
Some
I
of
think.
the early quiz days.
Yeah.
And
My first show.
your first show, and then I think we were talking about How I Met My Wife. Do you remember?
You touched on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that story is How I Met My Wife. Louise was actually at the quiz. She was a regular at the quiz, and very similar to the bingo. The top 2 teams would go into a dance off, and we talked about Cole spreading his cheeks. My wife didn't do that. But yeah, so she did a dance off, and I didn't really know her. She did a dance off and won against this little small guy. She picked him up in the dance off. She took her top off, pulled some moves. Just the bra was still on, and I just thought, I'm going to marry her. So there you go. And that was it. Like from that night,
Had she been before? Was it the first time?
She used to come all the time, but I didn't really recognise her, or didn't clock eyes on her until she picked that guy up and then took her top off. That was the standout moment of like, oh,
How short we're talking?
I would say he was probably maybe about 5'4". I don't really know heights. He was about half the size of you. But yeah, and then she moved into mine 2 weeks later. Now we're married. Together 12, 13 years.
And kids?
What? 2 kids, all from a dance off, all from the quiz. So
Lovely story.
how'd you meet your wife?
I met my wife. I've worked in bars and stuff, and then
Is there a dance off involved?
no,
How'd you meet yours?
No,
I'm only joking, Jim.
no, forget it.
No, go on, tell us, Jim. Tell us the romance.
Well, she worked in a hospital, and I had piles.
Nah,
Nah, forget it.
Go on, tell us.
Tell us a
I
story.
worked, it's very romantic. She was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar,
Yeah.
and that's how I met her. And I was working as a bartender, and I took one look at her bum and said, "Thank you very much."
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. What about you, Cole?
I was doing a show. We were doing a show in Dubai,
Yeah.
and she was down at the front giving it stacks. And I think I noticed I didn't speak to her on the night, and then she had to be on Instagram the next day, and I was like, "I remember that girl dancing out at the front."
Once she slid into your DMs.
She didn't message me; she just followed me. I think I
Oh.
must have slid in then. But thank you. Yeah, no, but then obviously so then I didn't see her for like another year until we went back over and done Dubai again, and then she moved.
Were you chatting though? Oh.
We had a bit in lockdown, yeah. The Zoom dates and that, Zoom call dates.
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
What do you do on a Zoom date? Is it like erotic?
Can be. No, it wasn't. No,
What
it
did you
wasn't.
do?
Just had a bevy,
What and did what?
chatting.
Was that a thing? I don't remember
Yeah.
you ever telling me that.
Yeah.
Would you get dressed up and all for it?
No,
Like have a meal
just whatever I had on.
and you just sit and chat?
For hours or just
Yeah.
minutes?
Bottle of red. And,
That's so romantic. That's really, really
well, we
romantic.
couldn't see each other, could we? In lockdown.
What, you were doing it with the camera off?
No camera on. No, I mean, we couldn't actually like see each other. Like,
Like just touching the screen?
yeah.
Were you using item then?
No.
So you
I think
pla-
we were speaking for a bit in lockdown, and then stopped talking for a bit, and then when we went over to Dubai, that's when she come to the show. And
Oh, so you'd already been talking before that? Yeah. Hey, well, those are all very romantic stories, aren't
Yeah.
they?
to the screen.
Yeah, so so back to the quiz. So to continue the story, did that for 6 years.
Was it 6 years?
I think it was, yeah. No, it might have even been longer, 6 or 7 years. I think it did something like, I remember there was definitely the 500th quiz special. So
No.
what's that work out as?
500 quizzes.
Yeah. Well, what's that work out? How many
Well,
would it be a year?
50 years, so that's 10 years.
50 a year, 10 years? No, then it wasn't, maybe. Or no, do you know what it was? There was a 500 special with Timmy Mallet, but I think it was more like I'd forgotten
You've
how many
made up the
quizzes.
number.
I forgot how many quizzes I've done, so I said 500's got a good ring to it. And then the amount, and then it was the quiz. Yeah, because I did 6 years of Aloha. Do you remember Aloha?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Aloha.
Do you remember it? 'Cause I was the
Best.
manager.
You were the manager for a while. Best bar in Liverpool at the time.
Unbelievable.
Like
I just love the way after the quiz, like everyone who was in Ship and Forecast, as soon as you like packed up and left to walk around, everyone just kind of followed you, like you were like the Pied Piper. And
Yeah.
everyone was just like come
Yeah.
down the street.
Well,
like,
it was a tiki bar in Liverpool. It's not opened anymore, but like it was quite ahead of its time. As like a
That was
like
amazing.
doing
It's
all
like
like,
Hawaiian
Hawaiian,
tiki sort of
like
cocktails on fire.
cocktails and
Yeah.
pineapples,
Zombies.
all stuff you see now all the time. But at the first time, the pina coladas in pineapples.
oh,
That was like
yeah.
that was like
Blew your mind, didn't it?
like completely blew my mind. Yeah, the drink. You had that big thing you used to do in the treasure chest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the chest one,
which is full of zombie.
Yeah, so every time after the quiz, that was the only bar that was opened, like really after. And then I ended up getting a bit of a job DJing. So the quiz would go on till 11, and then I'd DJ from 12 to 3 in Aloha after. And that was just absolute carnage. But it was like genuinely, because it was only about, 300 meters around the corner.
Yeah.
And once the quiz, I'd pack up and walk around, and there'd be like 200-300 people following me up the street. And it would be like, I'd always felt bad for whoever was on the bar in Aloha, because it was you went down the stairs, there'd be no one in there, and then next minute the double doors would open and we'd all just pile in, and the bar would just be like 6 deep right from the start.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. How did you used to do that? Because like you were getting drunk during the quiz, weren't you? Like quite pissed during the quiz,
Yeah.
book fast, etc.
Yeah.
And then you would then come to Aloha and then DJ for the whole night, and then probably stay up that night as well.
Yeah, I think it was probably just being young. I was probably only like 25, no kids, just like I was just, and I was only doing that once a week, and so I'd save like Monday would be my big day to go hard, like, and I love those DJ sets as well, just playing absolute shite, like the most randomest stuff. But then there was so many things that became like cult tunes to play, like I used to always play the the theme to Prince Ali
Prince
from
Ali,
Aladdin. So that was like a big one. No,
That used to go off.
That like used to go off the whole like 4 minutes. You know the one I mean?
Yeah, I do know what. I've
You're
got
gonna
a story
love
about
this
that
guy,
actually. You probably
Prince
don't remember.
Ali. Yeah, but people would come in like maybe late, and they'd go, they come up to the DJ, have you played Prince Ali yet? I'm like, no, don't worry.
Do you remember us when I was like on the shift, like the supervisor on the shift or whatever, and you were DJing, and do you remember us having a big argument
With me?
one night? You don't remember?
No.
So this is a good job you just mentioned Prince Ali, because the bar shut at like 3:00, and I'd be absolutely knackered, and all the staff would be knackered, and I'd go to Johnny like, oh, it's time, we're closing now, and he was obviously absolutely smashed off his face. So I'd walk up, I'd go, right, yeah, cut the music off, and he'd go, yeah, sound. And when I'd walk away, he'd just be like, Prince Ali. So I'd go back, and that had happened about five or six times a night, and then we've had each other up by the scruff of the neck before, being like,
Actually,
you don't remember?
no. Just remember the good times, mate. Black out the bad, positive energy, negative. You know,
Yeah, it was
those were
times.
good times. A lot of Buckfast was consumed. Like,
Yeah, loads.
like
Did you have Bucky then?
yeah, I've always had Bucky. Buckfast is like the first drink I ever drank. Buckfast is a part of my life. It's tattooed on my arm. I love it.
Changed my life.
Is
Like,
it?
It did change your life. I remember your first bottle. Everyone remembers your first bottle.
Yeah,
When we lived in Brixton together, Buckfast all the time.
I don't remember that.
Of course. Do you not remember? Well, you only remember
So you-
when we were like
yeah.
scrapping, but you don't remember
I was gonna
enjoying a
say,
nice
you know,
smooth
the
bottle of
the only,
Buckfast.
the only thing I remember from Brixton was where you always used to tell me where you can get the coldest cans of drink from. Like, say that this is the coldest fridge in Brixton. Go there.
Yeah, that's important. You got to get your priorities straight. You don't want like a lukewarm can of Carlin. Like, you want it to be ice cold right from the back of the fridge. But yeah, no, Buckfast. If anyone's unfamiliar with Buckfast, it's a fortified wine. It's made in Devon, made by monks, drunk by drunks, and it's really popular.
it's got the same amount of caffeine in as is it 5 or 6 cans of Red Bull
Yeah, in one bottle,
in one bottle.
and like
Pure anxiety.
No, get you through the show, that.
he doesn't. We was talking about it, he doesn't get anxiety.
Yeah, no, I've never had it. Don't think that.
What's that about?
What?
Everyone gets
No
a bit
piles,
of
no
anxiety.
anxiety. What have you got?
No piles, no anxiety.
Just a strict diet of Buckfast.
It's weird, that, isn't it? Because
Ever?
Don't think so.
Wow.
you've never like been like stressing or like that
I think
feeling.
after the staff party, and everyone we spoke to afterwards was like, "Oh, you were funny last night. Like, you know, you must be like, must have to fear today." And I was just like, "About what? Why? I have to fear about what?"
So like all those videos of you like shirtless, like all over the place, and then you don't have that feeling of like, oh God. If you don't remember anything, do you not have the feeling of like, oh no, what have I done?
No,
What have I
someone told
said?
me.
You just don't. You just don't give a fuck, mate.
I would kill to be like that. I'm anxious about every single thing.
I know.
Ever.
Yeah, he left at he left at 10 o'clock because he was just getting too anxious.
Too anxious. That's why I left.
He left at 10 o'clock. Like Bez is on his way, and he's like, "Oh, that's gonna be too much. I gotta go." Taxi home, and you were out for another fucking 29 hours. You only did about 3 hours.
I did about 3 hours because, like, do you know what? In my head, I was like, "Oh, fireworks! I don't want to see fireworks." So I just went home.
Did you go before the fireworks?
Hold on.
Fucking hell.
Hold on.
Really?
For context, we had a firework display. It wasn't like you weren't expecting a big kickoff or
Oh,
something.
fireworks.
Oh, there's going to be fireworks. If he pressed Prince Ali one more time, I'm going to fucking get him.
I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking because I was really drunk, and I was just thinking, "Oh God, that would be really loud and like too much stimulation." I'd just go home. I just missed everything.
I think you used to are like the complete opposite end
Complete
of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yin and yang.
Yeah, I get it sometimes, like, but I think I only get anxiety when I've had lack of sleep and maybe too much caffeine. I think caffeine is bad. Is caffeine bad?
It is, yeah, for anxiety sometimes because it just makes you everything, doesn't it? Like,
Is alcohol
just me
bad
anyway.
for anxiety?
Yeah, it's not great.
And how's he okay? He hasn't had a glass of water since 1996. But you remember your first bottle of Bucky? I introduced you to it.
Yeah,
and would you say it changed your life? Was it one of
Yeah.
the seminal moments?
Yeah.
What would you say was a bigger moment? You know,
Buckfast.
having Zoom calls with your missus, or your first sip of Buckfast.
I probably had Buckfast on the Zoom calls, to be
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
Keep
I
them
would have.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, your first bottle
Oh, yeah.
bottle of Bucky.
Yeah. I think it must have been like 2 or 3 shows in. We were in Leeds, And I think we just got in and you'd spotted a bottle. I'm like, oh, Buckfast. And I was just saying, I don't know what it is. And I think we all, me, you, Sweaty Betty, all got a bottle each.
Yeah.
Never looked back. I think we might have got 2 bottles each maybe on the first show.
And you just, yeah. I think.
But it does get you wrecked though. I don't know how we used to all do a show on a full bottle.
Well, I think, yeah, we used to do a bottle per show.
Every show.
And these were the early
Like
days.
shows a week.
Yeah, these are the early days when we were doing like 4 or 5 shows. And I think we used Buckfast as a way of getting you through the show.
Yeah.
What was the first ever show like?
What, the first ever show we did?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about you being really drunk, but
No, what do you mean?
a bottle of Buckfast each.
Yeah, we weren't doing that. Was only that the bottle of Buckfast each would have been more on the road, and I would,
Right.
you know, like when you were just absolutely flagging. And I would recommend trying it if you've
It
never
does keep you going.
if you've never tried Buckfast before, or I would give it a go, but be careful with it because it is a different type of drunk. The amount of caffeine, and there is probably health warnings. Maybe don't drink a whole bottle or a whole bottle 5 days a week, but it is great. Like. I'm saying like a positive then a negative.
Worked for me.
Don't do it. Worked for me, but yeah, only thing that can get me through. But don't drink responsibly. Is that what you're supposed to say? Yeah.
I shouldn't really say that.
You should. Yeah, you're the poster boy. The first ever bingo show. So yeah, after the quiz. So doing the quiz for 6 years, and where are we on the timeline? So I'd been doing that for 6 years, and was looking at doing something different, like. I was kind of just getting a wee bit bored, and the quiz was still doing really well. It was still full every week, but I just thought, I reckon I could do something else here. And I met Josh, who's my business partner and co-founder of the Bingo. He was running club nights in Liverpool, so I don't even know what kind of music it was. It was all a wee bit more like hipstery kind of stuff, and he was well into all that. And we had worked together, and on a couple of different events, and he'd said like, what, I'd been toying with the idea of doing like a speed dating event or a bingo event, and we just rolled with bingo. And Josh, he was doing some work putting on events in Camp and Furnace, so we had this warehouse space. That was the first venue we ever did. And did you go to the first one? Did you go to the first one?
No.
So it was probably like kind of making it up as we went along. Like, it was using all the elements from the quiz, so the dance offs, the rave rounds, the mad prizes, and then just doing bingo. But it was like the very first event, we were really just completely winging it. Like, I'd played bingo before, but I never really knew how it worked. And I remember we bought the bingo machine and we tested it out with like 2 of the staff. We were like, right, let's just practice. But obviously, if you're playing with 2 people, it takes, think how many numbers have to come out for them to get it. So we were playing like the first game in this little practice, and it was like 20 minutes in, and I was like absolutely flapping it. But it like
it's quite a weird jump from a quiz to bingo, isn't it? Like, it's just weird how you just made that like connection.
Do you know what it was? It was like put on this bingo night, and Josh had mentioned bingo as well. So I was like, yeah, it could work. And I think what happened was the jump. I think the jump from going to bingo was made it a lot more accessible for people. Like, the quiz was unbelievable, and the memories of that is like, if you talk to people that went to the quiz, then it's like a cult following, like some of the best nights ever. But it's still a quiz, so it's not like as accessible. I think once we did bingo, and the first bingo night, like, I think there was maybe 300 people there, and a lot of them were the people that came to the quiz. And
Yeah.
I think the first couple of weeks of doing it, and they were really good nights, and it was really like on a shoestring budget. Bingo machine, laptop, playing tunes, and there it is, the old housemaster. That's the first ever bingo machine. But it kind of just developed, and we didn't have a plan for it, but it grew really, really quick. And I think the first people that were going were the ones that would come to the quiz, and then they probably tailed off because they were like, it's not as good as the quiz. But then a new audience came in, and then it snowballed so quickly. Like, if you remember going to the early ones, like,
I went the second one, and then I must have went a few more times, like in the first few months.
I think it was maybe like 4 or 5 events in, because it was tickets on the door. You literally got your bingo book. It was like £2 on the door. But then it was like 4 or 5 weeks in, and we were hitting capacity, and that was like 700 people. We'd be like turning like 1,000 people away, and that's like after going for like a couple of months. It's so mad when I think back to it now, like how much it snowballed so quickly, and how much people like fell in love with the event really early on. And like this is 10 years ago as well. Like it wasn't planned to be like that, but if you think now, everything in sort of like nights out and stuff, it's all like this experiential market. Like everything has to be like an activity now, like fucking golf or karaoke or darts or But at that time, the sort of idea of going and playing bingo and partying, like I'm not being big headed, but like we were the first ones to do that. Like that was like, but again, it was just sort of like all happened organically and happened like there's a lot of luck involved and by chance, and it was just it was a mad journey.
I think I know the big difference I noticed with the jump from the quiz to the bingo was like the quiz was like kind of like a bit more laid back, and the bingo felt like a night out, but it was still interactive as well. You're still actually getting involved and doing stuff, and obviously more chances to winning that as well.
I think like because especially the venue as well, from jumping from being in a pub to being in like a warehouse space where again just happened, like what way are we going to lay it out, doing the sort of German style long tables, like beer hall style, like that really worked. And also the amount of times throughout a game of bingo that you could put the music on, and the music was absolutely like blaring. Like the rave round at the quiz was like one question and it was like a 2-minute rave, whereas the rave at the bingo ended up being like 15-20 minutes and all the glow sticks and stuff like that. Like some of those early shows, like I think now, like what the show is now, and the amount of production and the amount of like not thought, but like it's proper slick show. Like those early shows were so like rough around the edges and just like proper making it up as we went along.
Do you remember the first ever show? Do you remember the prizes?
The first prizes.
How did you get that? How did you choose them?
Same way as I used to do the quiz, where I'd go to like Home and Bargains, B&M, and on the day, and probably did this for maybe. When you started, would you have done prize runs?
I think we had. There was a few that we were using, like, but we just ordered in, or like maybe it was just the same. We were going to buy the same stuff, and there was a few bits where we just like go, we need to get 5 or 6, just random, whatever.
Yeah, because so if you think now, if you've ever been to a Bongo's Bingo show, it's 5. We play 5 games. At the start, it was 8 games. So there wasn't really much. So there wasn't really much like hyping up what the prize was. It was really just like first game, second game, and went through it. So it was like any prize. I think first game we did Frey Bentos pie, a signed Shaggy CD, which I signed myself, and like all stuff from the quiz. Like Lambrini was always a big one. 3 liters of Lambrini, like, and then people like fucking spraying it all over themselves. But no.
Class. Yeah, I think when I started, the only prize that we used every single show was the Hoover, the unicorn, the Cocoa Pops, and a cutout. And then we did 8 games then. We have 8 games of bingo a night, so we had 8 bottles of booze, and then we had to like fill in the other spots.
When you started hosting, Jim, what was it 6 games? We dropped it down.
6, yeah, but
it still felt too much.
I can't believe you used to do 8, because 6 feels mental. Like after the last break, you're doing 2 games, and like no one's really paying attention. They're like in the like 6th game. Anyway.
Was there more breaks then? Was it 3 breaks?
3 breaks. Yeah.
Was there? How long was the show? 16 hours.
I think some of the shows they go on till like midnight.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It was just carnage. That's
why
we cut
we'd
it
have
back.
An act as well.
Yeah.
So we'd have 8 games, a rave, and an act as well, just all squeezed in. Like
yeah, and it was like by the end, I think that's why we pulled it back. It wasn't like, oh, we don't want it. Like it was more by game 6 people are starting to stop playing. By game 7, and then by game 8 there's one man and his dog sitting there playing while everyone's like lying on the floor covered in Lambrini and Cocoa Pops, just like and we would be like that as well. I remember like when you go on going, how have we got 2 more games to play? Like I think we only did it that way because the first bingo books we bought were 8 games.
8 pages.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Like, so mad.
It was class though.
And then we've got all the stories of them when we started going on the road. But I'm going to save them for you because we need to have a little break and top up the Diet Cokes, mate.
Okay.
We are going to take a wee break now, but we will be right back to hear you blame it on the bongos. Welcome back to Bongo's Bungalow. Now, we love seeing you wreck the place and getting wild at the shows, but we want to hear your stories of what happens after, you know, when you go home. Did you win a wacky wavy? Did you set it off in a train station? That kind of thing. So I appreciate you sending stuff into the mail sack. We've got quite a few things in the sack, mate.
Your eyes look crazy.
Why? What's wrong with my eyes?
It's like going.
Yeah, because I'm just getting hyped up.
Oh,
I like
the
the fact
energy.
that I like the fact that it's interactive, and I like the fact that people send stuff in. I think it's nice. I think it's nice that people care and want to get in touch. And how would you get in touch?
You can get in touch on.
Right, so let's go in. Who wants to read first? Remember the rules. You got to do the name and where they're from, the first line and the accent.
Oh, well, I'll do the first one then, because this one's from Elliot in Crosby, and I used to live in Crosby.
Crosby in Liverpool?
Yeah, some would say, yeah.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
do the accent.
Greetings. No, wait. How are we, Scran?
Did you say, how are we, Scran?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the mindset of like,
Right, Crosby.
how are we?
Go.
Greetings to the Bongos Bing. No,
Move on, mate. Normal voice.
normal voice. Greetings. That's the same voice. Greetings to the Bongos Bingo Collective. My first time at Bongos was way back in the day when it was a student night. Entry was a couple of quid, and one of my mates had convinced me to go along, and it was the best night out he's ever experienced. Let's just say I was hooked from the get-go and even got a frisky dance from Sweaty Betty. Gross. I won myself a tattoo voucher, which I used to get my girlfriend's name, now my ex. Aww. I clearly remember the girl winning a signed Shaggy CD.
That's what I said.
Yeah, true. Which was definitely Jarg, because you signed it, but her impression of him was spot on, to be fair. Haven't won anything since, but always happy to be part of the chaos. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, that's reminded me. The girl that won the Shaggy CD, I think I did get up and was like, and played like
Wasn't
Angels. It wasn't me, and she did like a full Shaggy performance, like so. Oh, that was nice. Taking me back.
That's class.
Cool. What else have you got in the sack?
Oh,
Do good reading voice, okay?
I'll try.
Not TikTok, not like hello, and do the accent as well.
Right,
Okay,
yeah,
fresh out of the bag, and look, it's a big one as well.
Right.
Yes.
Come on.
This is from Alice on the Whittle. Right, so it was just another Friday night in 2023. Me and the gang were on a mission. We were determined to win the pink unicorn. The night kicks off and it's carnage from the start. Drinks flowing, dabbers flying, and the donks already going off like it's our national anthem. I didn't even shout bingo at first. I screamed like it was a roller coaster. Slutty Susie, oi, came over. People came over and started to stare, but they didn't care if I was getting the dick. Oh, wait there, sorry. But I didn't care, so I thought nearly said getting the dick.
You sound like, I am a robot, I read now.
Fuck off. Sorry, right. Where was I? Slutty Susie came over and people started. Oh, you fuck.
Yeah, so it's just reading stuff out.
Like, what am I doing?
Just read it out.
I am Android. That's you.
Slutty robot, mate. Come on.
See, Slutty Susie came over and people turned to stare, but I didn't care if they were getting their dickhead signs ready. I was off to the stage like a woman possessed. They handed me the unicorn and I held it up like Simba in The Lion King, proud as punch. I became a bit of a celebrity after that, getting pictures of everyone and whatnot, but afterwards, that's when the carnage ensued. We had to create a broken barrier around our precious new friend. We got an Uber into town and headed onto Duke Street. Some of the bars were still going, so we dived into one to get out of the rain. And who was standing at the bar? Chico from X Factor.
Fuck off.
Nice.
His eyes lit up when he saw our unicorn and he asked for a selfie. I was hoping he'd put up on his Instagram, but I've never been able to find it. So once again, thank you for my fluffy friend and thank you for one of the best nights of my life. Also, who is the craziest celeb you've ever had at the bingo?
We all know the answer to that, don't we?
Hey,
You joking?
what do you mean, Chico?
No. Based on
Craziest
obviously he's
celeb?
the craziest celeb.
I read that as like who's been the craziest celeb that's been to the bingo.
Not before, yeah, okay.
Who would be up there?
Who's actually visited?
Yeah, and you know the ones that come to visit. Fucking know who's come to a show.
There's a few that
Who's visiting tonight?
there's a few that have been. I don't know if we're allowed to say that. There's a few that have been kicked out, haven't
What celebrities?
they?
Your best mate got kicked out.
Who's that?
The one that you were sharing a flat with. Not sharing a flat, but he lived in your building. Did he not get kicked out?
Oh, he did, yeah.
Yeah, you can say his name, I'm sure.
Is it Shane
Stephen Warnock.
Stephen Warnock, yeah. Your best mate used to go
My best
jogging
mate.
together.
Oh, Bonnie be a corkscrew for me Zoom chats.
What? Did he bring a corkscrew? Yeah, he lived upstairs. From,
Yeah.
what do you call it? It's been quite a few times. Has always been good crack, but has always got himself in a bit of, not in a bit of bother, like, but like got a, like a telling off from his missus, I think. Carragher has been a few times.
He loves getting up.
And he loves getting on the stage. You never see, I'm sure it'll be somewhere, like the video of the mobility scooter, and he was driving it around stage in the wig.
Yeah.
Do you not remember that? Have you never seen that?
No.
He's like, all good crack, like, but I think he came back another time and he was like, I can't get up on stage, like, I'll get, my missus will kick off, because he came with all his mates, like from his like old football team or something.
Yeah.
And he got back up on
Yeah, he
stage
got up
again,
again,
didn't
yeah.
he did the worm.
Yeah.
He did the worm. And then the third time he came was when you might have taken your clothes off.
Oh, his face.
And I was doing a video of you and just caught Carragher's face, like a full jaw drop. Like he was covering it. He was covering it. But yeah, I'll see if I can find that Carragher doing the worm.
It's class, that. That's a good video.
Do you remember when I remember Kyle Walker? Remember Kyle? Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it happened, didn't
He's
it?
moved now, hasn't he?
Oh, we put a video, didn't we, on Instagram, and it was of him doing the worm, and then his missus at the time got in touch and was like, you need to take that down, he's got in trouble with training or something.
I think he was playing the next day or something, or playing.
He scored an own goal the weekend after he beat.
After doing the worm, yeah.
He did.
Yeah, but yeah, you can post that, can't you? He did it on stage in front of 1,000
it's in
people
public.
in Manchester.
Yeah.
Footballers, when they come, apparently they just love to do
Crazy
the worm.
guys.
They just love to do the worm. I'm trying to think who else.
It sounds like it's just football.
There's definitely been some other people, like crazy guys.
I'm pretty sure Colleen Rooney came down.
She's been a few times.
But she came down right after. It was. I think
yeah.
it was only like very shortly after she did that statement
Yeah.
about the Rebecca Vardy, and I think like we got like a "fuck Rebecca Vardy" chant on
Yeah,
the
we
mic.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, big support to Colleen. Is it just footballers then?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah.
What production team?
Tech team.
Tech team.
No.
The biggest celeb of all,
Yeah,
Samuel L.
probably.
Jackson,
Who's just on Super Bowl?
who's just done the Super Bowl. He got that gig because he turned up at the video. They were like, "Yeah, you've done well." Yeah, that was in. So Samuel L. Jackson, that was in Scotland,
Yeah, Glasgow.
in Glasgow, and he was filming up there. He was doing a series or something, and he had like a driver that was taking him around. I think he was a big Rangers fan, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson had a day off filming, and he was like, take me around, like a day off, like, and he took him to Ibrox Stadium, and then he said, like, listen, there's this event called Bongo's Bingo. Do you want to come and have a look at that? And in Glasgow, the stage, there's like a bit of a side stage, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it wasn't us hosting it; it was Steve Taylor.
Steve Taylor, yeah.
And I don't know how his head, because he would have been able to keep together, because he wasn't in the car. They brought him down side of stage. So Steve's doing the show, isn't he? And then he's like, that's a guy that doesn't half look like Samuel L. Jackson. And then it is Samuel L. Jackson.
Probably see it on the.
Yeah, we can get that up, innit? Hold on.
Yeah.
Use the cool to use the technology. Ready? Watch this. There's Samuel L. Jackson there in Glasgow, and he was throwing glow sticks out. He stayed for ages. There was a video where Josh, what's Josh's dancer's name?
Kinky Kate.
Kinky Kate.
No, Kinky Kylie.
Kinky Kylie's doing like a 69 dance, and Samuel L. Jackson's just pissing himself laughing.
Yeah.
But we were doing a show in Liverpool, and in the WhatsApp group with all the hosts and dancers, these, like, because we had no heads up about it, they didn't have any heads up about it either, and we were getting the messages. So Samuel L. Jackson's at the show in Glasgow, and we're like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And it was, what do you call it? It was April 1st. It was April Fool's Day.
Oh, so you thought everyone was.
But yeah,
messing.
so nice one, tech team, for reminding that while we were throwing out big names like Stephen Warnock when we had Samuel L. Jackson in the bank. So yeah, thanks for sending them in. Now remember, the bungalow isn't just for us, it's for you. So do send in your stories, your questions, and what Susie really wants is prize ideas.
Yeah.
We talked about some of them on the bonus episode last week.
Yeah.
And they were good, but we need more. Follow us on our socials at Bongo's Bungalow. Send in good stories, and also tell your mates as well about it. You know, about this podcast.
Spread the word, innit?
Isn't that? Because one thing I found is the best marketing tool is a little thing I like to call word of mouth.
Oh, wow.
You heard about it?
Yeah, I have now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be back next week, same place, same time. Thanks for joining us. Do you want to say something, Jim?
Yeah. You can also get in touch via email at hello@bongosbungalow, see you later, .co.uk. Goodbye.
See you later, guys. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Say
Bye.
bye. Wave. Ta.
Ta.